you've shared some of the visibility fears of female entrepreneurs. Share one or more before I share one about the visibility fears of female entrepreneurs that are 60 plus.
Yes. So and a lot of these fears that I talk about, they are ones that I have personally gone through. And the women that I work with, again, they just naturally have all been 40 plus. It's interesting. I didn't set out to really focus on entrepreneurs 40 plus. They found me for whatever reason. I'm very grateful for that. And the biggest fears that I really see working with them, I can break them down into three things, and the ABCs. A is appearance, B is blunders, and C is the C word, confidence. Because I know we've already had conversations.
The C word.
The C word. And so it becomes the appearance being, I don't look like I'm supposed to look, because we have this perception, like I did, of what we're supposed to look like when we show up in our business, especially on video. The appearance of our background that we're using, and the fears of, again, because we see other people on social media, especially with their beautiful kitchen backgrounds, or they've got these beautiful, luxurious backgrounds of places where they're at. And then we start to judge ourselves and say, I only have a small background. I've got a gray wall behind me. And so we start to then compare versus just be comfortable with what it is that where we are. The blunders are B is the blunders around, what am I going to say? What if I speak too fast? What if I freeze? What if I stutter? What if I forget? And especially when it comes to blunders, technology is great until technology is not. So with all these blunders that we can't necessarily control, that we have a lot of fear around. And then C is that confidence piece where it becomes, well, I can't do X. I can't put myself out there because I don't have the confidence. I have to build up the confidence, where confidence is the outcome of taking courageous actions that is driven by a belief, that belief in who we are, the need for what it is that we do, that people need to hear us, and we have that unique value that has to be shared. So it's not so we're focusing on the wrong thing. We're focusing on the outcome instead of really creating the foundations that will help us to take the actions that will create the confidence.
That's a good point. And so you mentioned another C word there, and that was comparison, right? So that is the other C. Like even comparing our background to someone else's background. And I've seen your background in many of your videos, and they are all on brand, I would say. And they are all very clear, and they're all very, I'm not too sure whether I'd say calm. They're calm. Okay. So there's a blunder. I'm okay with blunders because I'm human. I've lived long enough to know that I've made some pretty big blunders. This is a minor one if I cannot pronounce a word on the spot. So I'm okay with that. One of my fears, I'll just tell you this, was running out of breath. I used to talk one sentence till I was out of breath. So I found that very comical as I started to do videos. The other word that we can say, laugh at yourself. It's a comedy in a way. So laugh at yourself. Yeah. And it takes the pressure off. So I would like to share with our audience, because many of them are over 40, over 50. Before I do share, though, I want to let you know that it was around my 40, in my 40s, when everything opened up into a different world for me. And you know how we talked about the curtain opening up? I had an experience where I went to this program that was a friend of mine said, Patricia, you got to go to this program. It's just right for you at your age. I was actually 40. And I'd had some transitions in my life. And at the end of the program, we were in this big hotel that had a big, long escalator, blunder again, escalator. And as I went down that escalator, I felt towards the ballroom, I felt my face relax from my before 40s, where I was very, I wouldn't say tense, but my face was not relaxed. I used to say it's because I'm a deep thinker, but people would remark on it. But I felt as I went down there, it was like I was opening up the curtains, and yes, I'm going to step out from behind that curtain that I've been hiding behind for the last 20 years when I was in corporate. And it coincided with the fact I didn't move out of corporate. I was kicked out of corporate. So that's a little different experience. So that's another story. So I just want to share for women entrepreneurs who are C+ and are going to this phase of life where they're wondering what's next for them. Sometimes they are in corporate and they're ready for that boot out, or at least the opportunity for them to leave on their own if they're fortunate either way, because sometimes they get a nice package. But one of the fears that women in their 60s and 70s have, many of them mention it to me, is being invisible. And invisible because of ageism. I have to bring that up. They feel like they are not seen and not heard. So that is one of the big fears that I work with my clients about. How do we get around that?